Hello again. Hello. This is Skip again. Hey, I want to touch on a point. I'm touching the whole concept of people who have a current business, that they have products they want to sell, and they're looking for ways to drive traffic. That's the primary topic here. I've touched on this a lot in other videos, but I want very specifically to call attention to this because it's really an important one. And I've worked with so many people recently that I've had conversations with that I just feel like they don't necessarily understand or get what this is all about, or what they can do, or how they can utilize this. So I really want to touch on this to see if I can clarify it just a little bit. There's a lot of people who have businesses that they're trying to promote, they're trying to build the business, and they're in a position that if they had a way to build it or to scale it, they might have a product where they have co-packers and no problem in scaling the business. They might have, whatever their circumstances, they're in a position that they could scale, but they have no idea how to go about it. They have a website that they may pay a lot of money for, and whether they paid a lot of money for it or whatever, they got a website that's basically not doing anything for them. So many people that use websites as a online brochure, and and that's fine. You give out your card, you got your website on it, people can go there and buy from you, and you build your customer base of people who have purchased from you. That's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. The challenge is that there is so many people not being registered on your list that could be great customers if you were to have a way of following up with them. And so I want to address a situation here that can deal with that and provide a tremendous list that you build on. I've mentioned this before too, that Amazon is a brand. It's not necessarily a product, but Amazon builds the majority of its revenue through existing customers, or people who come into the system, that through whatever the means they're coming into that system, and it's a customer base that they've established, and they don't necessarily rely on advertising from any one source or social media or whatever. They don't have to rely on that so much. They've got a tremendous business just off an established list of customers or prospects, and so any individual can do the same thing. And if you start out and you've got nothing but you want to build your business, you can do it based on attracting new targeted traffic. You can do it based on established customers, but the established customer list is going to be a lot smaller than your established prospect list or potential customer list. So I want to address this just a little bit because there's a way to do this and it's amazing. This will help to kind of cast a light on it a little bit. If you were given, I've asked this question of a lot of people, if you were given 6 months to a year to say that in that 6 month to a year period, you could follow a system, step-by-step training that would give you everything you need, that you would never again after that period of time have to rely on anybody else for income, that you have a steady income stream, that you'd be fixed for life, you have a system that you can do anything with, market any product you want, have total flexibility and choice. If you could spend 6 months to a year laying the groundwork for that, would you do it? And so far I've never had anybody say that they wouldn't. Everybody says, yeah, they do that. They can see themselves doing that. So here's the deal. Is there such a system? Again, absolutely yes. And you hear me talk about the 4% system a lot. And the new 4.0 system is phenomenal. And by the way, just a little note, the reason for the 4.0 system is because the previous systems have been so slammed with sign-ups and people wanting the product and the rest of it that they were reaching their capacity like overnight. And so they created a system that is now being released that will handle the millions of people that come into the system over the coming years. It's an amazing system, and the features and the things that are available are unprecedented. There's nothing else like it out there, period. There just isn't. There's nothing. So it's a phenomenal program. But that said, let me go back on track here a little bit. If you have a product, or you want to have a product, and you want to build that business, and you're relying on what we think of as conventional means, is there a possibility to break away from that mold and build something that's extraordinary? Absolutely you can. Well, here's your choices. You can join the 4% challenge and go through that process as part of whatever you're doing now. Spend whatever time you can, build up some resources, build the, do the learning, take 6 months to a year and build it. You can do that. You can spend dedicated time to that and really pushing it through. It doesn't have to take even 6 months if you really apply yourself to it, to learn the systems and to do the step-by-step training that is available. And there's 30 sessions. It's however long it takes you to go through those 30 sessions, follow it exactly and apply what it says, and you'll be set for life. That's just reality. The only people who don't succeed at it are people who quit, who step aside. And unfortunately, for some reason, there's a lot of people that do that. And they may have legitimate reasons and distractions or whatever it is. But again, the only people who ever fail at it are people who just don't do it. But where you have an existing business or you want to expand it, here's what you have to do. It doesn't matter how good your product is. It doesn't matter, and you want good products and all that's important, but it doesn't matter what the product is or how good it is or any of those things or how invested you are in or passionate about your product. The reality is you got to ask yourself, is it worth taking some time and investment to build your skills to where you'll have absolute independence and a financial base? Now, the primary focus of the challenge is on affiliate marketing. Well, affiliate marketing at its base is nothing more than selling other people's products. And there's a lot more of that. More to that, I can go way into that subject. In fact, I've got in my golden nugget answers in the website, you'll see explanation of what is affiliate marketing and how does it work and that kind of thing. So you'll get some more information in that. A series of 2-minute videos that can answer a lot of questions. But that said, if you understand the concept, the fundamental concept of affiliate marketing, and you can apply anything to it, and including your own product. And it doesn't matter if you're in network marketing, if you're in you're buying products from some warehouse someplace, or doesn't matter what your source is or any of those things. If it's scalable, if it's a business you can build, then why not learn how to drive traffic, targeted traffic, with people, and listen closely to this, and even write it down if you need to. Targeted traffic comprised of people who have already demonstrated an interest or demand for your product. That is key. When we talk about driving mass traffic, we're not talking about just a general spread of just anybody. There's millions of people out there. Well, there's a certain number, a segment of those millions of people that still constitutes millions of people that have expressed an interest in what you have. It's just true. But how do you tap that? You want to tap mass traffic of people who specifically have expressed an interest in what you have. That's part of learning through the challenge how to tap into that and the system used to collect that information and create a customer base, customer/prospect base. So you'll have your own little Amazon that you can market to. And the beauty of it is that it'll make you basically immune to the changes in the algorithms. Have you watched what's going on with Google? Have you watched what's going on with Facebook? The reality is that out of that, there will be changes in algorithms. They've been going on for some time. They're going to continue to go on. And how many of the changes in algorithms are going to be favorable to what you're doing? Here's the reality. You do not want to invest all your time and effort into any one source. You just don't. You want to have multiple sources, but they need to be sources that you can count on. There's so much emphasis now on people saying, well, you go online and YouTube and look it up. You can get all kinds of training on how do you succeed at Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is. There's lots of that. But unfortunately, that's just not the whole answer. And it's okay to learn those things and become functional in those genres. That's okay. Whether it's Google ads, video ads on YouTube, or whatever it is, all that's okay. But just don't get yourself caught in a corner where all of a sudden you've been relying on that, the algorithms change, and all of a sudden you're out of business. So, again, if you have a business, if you have something you want to promote, are you willing to slide over, give priority to learning what you need to learn so that you can take that next step with your business and blow it up? And here's the interesting thing. If you're worried, if you're worried about loss of revenue in your primary product, worry not. I don't know what you're doing to market it now, but here's the reality, is that as you progress through the challenge, there are systems in place that will allow you to generate enough income to make up for whatever sales you missed on your regular product, and or pay for the marketing and advertising that you're doing to where you'll have positive revenue at the end of the 30 sessions. It's designed that way so that you can actually scale out of the process that you learn. You can scale and again end up with a flourishing multiple stream income. Okay, income from multiple streams passive income. Don't know how far I want to go into describing that. Passive income is something that happens 24/7, and it's that the art of learning to sell without selling. And you'll see a lot of that. That's taught in the challenge. We go way deep into that. You'll see what that's about. But there is passive income that happens automatically through subscriptions, and it's amazing. But that's all part of the challenge. So anyway, just know that you can focus on developing the skills, the knowledge to become a completely independent entrepreneur. That at the end of the day, you can make a fortune. And underline. Let me give you another. Give you another example of something that would work. I talked to a fellow, and this is a little while ago, and I believe he was in Denver, if I remember correctly. We visited, and he had a product that he wanted to invent. He had a product idea. And it was a viable thing. He's a chef, and he has a product that you would use in the kitchen and that anybody could use that he wanted to develop, but he needed a prototype. He did not have the funds to develop the prototype or do anything with it, and if he had the prototype, he wouldn't have the funds to market it. So what we discussed was the possibility, okay, if you went through the challenge and learned through those 30 sessions how to market whatever it is you have, and in the process develop a large customer base, and in the process multiple streams of income, you would end up with a base income, automatic long-term income that would help you fund whatever you want to fund, your prototype, your patents, and whatever else you want to fund, and the marketing of this new concept, this new idea you have. Another fellow that I talked to is a musician. He wants the money to improve on a studio and have everything he needs to do some production work and what have you. And he's looking for an income base where he doesn't have to wait tables and do other things to make a living, so that he can do what he's passionate about, what he wants. Again, he takes that idea, he takes some time aside, learns what he needs to know, develops that income, so now he's got an income base. He can do whatever he wants, pursue whatever passion you have. In the end, it's about this, and you've heard me talk about this before. It's about choice. It's about having a choice in what you do. Well, if you want to lay a foundation with an economic base that'll give you that flexibility that you can develop and grow and build it into whatever you want it to be, and represent a specific product or a passion that you have, something you created, something you want to pursue, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. So don't get ahead of yourself and say, well, my product is so important. Sure, your product is probably great and it is important, it does all those things, but isn't it worth it if you knew that within the span of, let's just say, set aside a year, that within a span of a year you could triple, quadruple, or more the business you might have done with that product than taking several years through organic traffic and doing trade shows and doing all of that to try to build your business. The majority of people that I talk to that are doing trade shows just to sell their product have been doing it for years. I mean, they've been doing it for years. And they are so ensconced in what they're doing, so invested in what they're doing, that they don't see the bigger picture, that if they took a little time, set it aside, and built that income base, they could explode their business. They can do whatever they want, but they keep going back. And right now, here's the other issue, that a lot of the people that I've talked to are doing these trade shows, in very specialty events. Well, the events programs are sliding. One of the biggest promoters out there that does home shows is selling their shows. They don't sell their shows if they're productive and making a lot of money. They just don't do that. But the reality is that so many people are buying online now. There's a major shift going on. That little phone that you carry, that you text and what have you, that you talk to your friends with, that is a mall. It is a shopping mall. That little screen that you're looking at, you can access virtually anything and buy whatever you want online, anytime, anywhere, whatever the price, whatever research you need to do. It's all done in that little tiny 7-inch, whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's the new mall. That's the new shopping mall. Everybody has one. And that's where a lot of our business is going. So if you want to fortify yourself and be able to reach out to those markets that are otherwise hard to reach, targeted marketing that's already specified an interest in what you have, can you do it? You absolutely can. Now that's why this Partners and Friends page is all about, is to help direct people into a place where they can make a few adjustments in their thinking, step it up a little bit, and find ways to accelerate their business and really achieve what it is they wanted to achieve. That's what this is about. So I did the introduction video there that you'll see on top of this, but I wanted to put this out just because there's so much interest in people building their own business, and they get stuck in their ways, and they don't see the value in setting aside the time and resources necessary to really learn what they need. And for pennies on the dollar, I mean, it'll pay you back in spades. And it'll mean that from the time you complete that program and you become independent because you've successfully completed those 30 steps, once you do that, you got it. You got a choice. You can do whatever you want. You can build business, if you like to paint, if you want to, whatever you want to do. You got the choice. That's what it's about at the end of the day. It's having choice. I've said it a million times. It's not just about the money. Money is a very useful tool, and we need it. We need a lot of it. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, people talk about money is the root of all evil. Well, that's not what the Bible says. It says the love of money. It's pursuing money at the risk of everything else. Some of the richest people ever in history were biblical characters like Solomon and others who were incredibly wealthy. So the idea that somehow it's immoral to be wealthy or whatever, no, it's not at all. Now, if your whole priority is money, that's another issue. But if your priority is life, a sense of accomplishment, making a difference, having choice in life, these are values that you can live by. These are things that can put you in a place to do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. So I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this as I drone on here. But my whole goal is to help people make some choices that are going to make a difference in their lives. So I hope this does make a difference. Now the technical parts of this and the challenge, all that's available. You'll see a special message from Vic on this page. Read through that, follow through, whatnot, check out the challenge. All the technical training, whatnot, is available for you. I'm kind of a guide. I can help you through some of those things and walk with you through the process to make sure you're on track or answer questions that you have. So that's the purpose of the Partners and Friends page. So thank you. I'll let you go with that. And there's comments at the bottom of the page. Please feel free to make comments. And if you have something that comes up that you're interested in, you want more information on it, let me know. I'm happy to assist. So God bless, and we will talk to you again soon. Thank you.